Hi guys, welcome to a very special Tasting Tuesday because today we're going to go through our entire critical tasting method. We spent the last several videos breaking it down and why we're doing everything. In this video, I just want to take you through exactly how to do it, why to do it, and show you that you can actually do all of these steps pretty quickly and in a way that's casual that you won't even look like a crazy person out at the bar doing it. So let's get to it. I'm excited to try this Allagash Stout. I always really like what they do with their beers. It's called North Sky. So let's give that a taste today. And you know, 3-ounce sample's about right for critical tasting. You still want to pour vigorously enough to have that nice head because that's where all of our aroma is coming from. So let's get started. The first step is going to be our distance sniff, and we're doing this just to make sure we don't accidentally go nose blind to a really strong compound. Say I was holding the glass like 12 inches away like I am right now and I could smell sulfur. I would instantly write that down because you don't want to be smelling sulfur that strong, first of all. And if I dive my nose in there, I would totally go blind to that sulfur. So just 8 to 12 inches, I kind of move it. Just smelling. Now we're going to do our moving sniff, what I call the up and over sniff. So we're going to go into our nose and up and away. And that's just because we're going to get that scent trail. And something that I actually learned from cheese tasting is certain aroma molecules that are heavier fall back toward your nose. So maybe here your aroma molecules are rising, and the ones that you're getting here as it's going away are the ones that are falling. So just again, different aspects of the scent. Then we're gonna get to do our short sniffs, which will be our first real dose of aroma. And again, we're keeping them short just because we don't want to overwhelm our receptors, and we also don't want to dry out our nasal passageway, which makes it harder for you to sense everything. So just 2 to 3 1-second sniffs and take it away. Again, we're not getting overwhelmed. We don't want to keep sensing that aroma. We want to think, what did we just sense? And here's where I really take my first note. Okay, what's my initial impression of this beer? If you had a flight, this is also where you could start going down the flight. You know, you got your initial aroma here. Now move on to the rest of your samples. So we just did our short sniff. Maybe we moved on. You're coming back to the sample. It's time for your long sniff. What you want to do here is think about, am I confirming my initial impression or am I sensing something that maybe contrasts with that? So just 1 3-second sniff and taking it away. And you're thinking, okay, is this what I was thinking? Am I getting anything new? Maybe you're starting to get down into that second and third level of the aroma. Maybe there's some malt flavor hiding or some esters hiding that you're just noticing now that you got a bigger dose of the aroma. So you're thinking about that. Maybe you thought, okay, I got some esters. So let's really dive our nose in with the covered sniff. To do that, we're creating a seal like you see right here. You're swirling for about 3 seconds. Then you're going to align your hand with your nose, remove it, and take a long sniff. And then take it away. Now, a long sniff is just about 3 seconds because again, we don't want to dry out our nasal passageway. We want to keep everything sharp and at its best sensory fitness. So again, you're doing 3 seconds here, line it up. And now you can take a note, is that again, confirming or contrasting your initial idea of the aroma. Then we're gonna do our retronasal sniff. So what I just did there was hold my nose, take in a breath, take a sip of the sample while I'm holding my nose, swish it, let go of my nose, exhale through my nose while I swallow, but keeping your lips closed. And the most important part of this sniff is that after time, when your lips are closed, what flavor is filling your mouth? Because that's actually part of the aroma that's filling your mouth. So let's see it again. We're going to seal, take a breath in. Waiting with your lips closed is so important. Then we get our first just normal sip. What we're gonna do here is try to confirm, or again, contrast, is what we smelled in the aroma, what we're carrying on to the flavor. Again, take a minute to pause, maybe make a note about the flavor. We're gonna move on to our mouthfeel sip. So we're going to Just take a little beer into our mouth and hold it. Let the carbonation die out on our tongue. Then give it a little swish to feel the body and swallow. So. Then our final sip is going to be our aftertaste sip. Again, you're gonna take a medium amount of beer into your mouth, give it a little bit of a swish, exhale, and really try to push air up the back of your throat. What we're trying to do here is enhance the sensation of alcohol warming and astringency. So you're gonna feel, especially in the back of your throat, if you're feeling that drying, astringency, or any kind of warming from alcohol. So. Easy as that. And then after you've done your exhale, just sit for a second and think about what is that final aftertaste? What is the flavor impression that's left in my mouth? How long is it lasting? And is it pleasant or unpleasant? I mean, that's, if you're judging, that's a super important part of the flavor. And it's what makes you either want to take another sip or switch drinks. So pretty easy when you go through it that quickly, but a lot of explanation behind everything. So let's go through as if I was just getting the sample here to judge in a flight. All right, so if I was approaching this sample, let's top ourselves off. I would maybe give it a quick look, but again, I hate putting too much emphasis on appearance before I taste. Get our distant sniff. Not getting much. Get our moving sniff. This is really interesting because you can actually get the roast as it's coming towards you, and then it completely disappears as it's going above my nose. Now our first short sniff, really getting a good hit. Nice aroma hit there. And I probably would write down my initial ideas of roasted and like bittersweet chocolate. Just did another confirmation. So now let's do our long sniff and really confirm if that's what I'm smelling. Starting to get a little bit more like red fruit with that chocolate, maybe fig. Let's see with the retronasal or with the covered sniff if that's correct. Yeah, I think there is some like red, maybe some like esters hiding in there. Maybe they're using maybe Belgian yeast or English. Kind of like a dark red fruit, like maybe an apple or a fig of some kind. Let's go retronasal. So this really accentuates the roast compared to the red fruit that I was smelling in that aroma. I would say it goes back to like full chocolate for me. And that also is because I'm getting some of that bitterness on my palate. So let's take our first sip. Yeah, and that's confirming for me. Initial flavor is roast. Secondary, we're getting some bittersweet chocolate. Third would maybe be a couple little red fruit esters, and also some like really strong burnt notes. Just a couple in there, not throwing off the balance too much. Let's get the body. So yeah, I would say low carbonation on this. That gives it a little bit of a creamy impression, although the body is quite thin. Definitely no chewiness going on there. Also the finish kind of cleans up that bitterness, and roast really cleans everything off. And let's go for the aftertaste. There's actually more, the astringency I expect, that drying feeling from the roast. There's more alcohol warming than I would expect of just a standard stout. So it's 7.5%. For just calling it a standard stout, that's a little elevated. And definitely even these couple of minutes since the sample has started warming, I've noticed that warm sensation, that alcohol poking its head out in the aftertaste and the mouthfeel. So I would definitely note it a bit elevated for the style on that alcohol warming. We just did all of that, and what I would do if I had a flight in front of me was just make my way down the flight doing that exact same technique. Then I'd probably come back, give everything just like one long sniff and a sip. Maybe exhale like that just to see if the aftertaste has changed, see if the flavors changed as it's gotten warmer, or if my impression has changed. I really just want to confirm my notes and feel good about that. And really, unless there's something crazy different, I don't suggest changing too much. I need to take my own advice and not change my ideas late in a flight, but it's always good to come back and confirm, especially after a sample's warmed up a little bit. And now that we've been through that, I'm really excited to move on to future Tasting Tuesdays, where we can discuss specific flavor compounds and specific aspects of flavor to really break down and become better tasters, not just about beer, but everything in life. So stay tuned.